Hey friends, welcome back to Simply a Better You. My name is Shanine and today I will be out in my garden. I've got some late harvesting to do. There's some things that still need to come out of the garden, such as my cabbage, and things are kind of starting to die back. It is late July right now, so a lot of the squash bugs and the cucumber beetles have started to take over, and so the garden's starting to kind of wind down. Still producing, we still have lots of great things coming out of the garden. The melons are not quite ripe yet, and of course the squash, the spaghetti squash, butternut squash, pumpkins and things are not ready to harvest yet. But other things are coming to a close. So the yellow squash and the zucchini, peppers, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, all of those things are kind of coming out of the garden just a little bit at a time and are coming to an end. So, yes, the garden is crazy and wild. When is it not? Especially my garden. Um, this is our first whole year that we have spent at this property. So we have a much better understanding of how things grow, what can grow, when to plant, and we will continue to learn as the years progress. So next year we will be tackling this garden a little different. We really want to keep the garden here. This seems to be a really good place for it. And we're going to make this a permanent location. So we're going to start putting some things in the ground next year that will be permanent and we won't be moving. And we're going to use those things to help kind of prevent the deer and the rabbits and things from getting into the garden until we can get fencing up. So let's get in here and I'll give you a tour of what's still growing in the garden. So I'm really proud of the okra this year. It is doing really well. The front two plants seem to be doing the best. They are the largest. And then we've got some smaller plants in the middle. And then the last two plants are the largest. But they are producing plenty of okra. We're going to be frying up some okra tonight. I have already lost one squash plant, two squash plants. Third is getting ready to go because of squash bugs. There's just a lot of them. So I'm just letting the plants run their course. I'm not really fighting the squash bugs this year. I've got plenty of squash. Most of it I've been feeding it to the chickens and then eating what we can. The zucchini plants are still producing. They've just simply slowed down. The front plant is starting to die back. And the plant in the back is still doing rather well. So we'll see how those last. Pepper plants are finally doing great. Banana peppers once again did not produce a whole lot, but they're still flowering. So I'm going to leave these in and let them continue. The plants have actually got quite a bit on them. Oh, I see some caterpillar nests. Aha! So you're what's eating my zucchini plants. I see. So I'm not going to grab him because I don't know if he's pokey. But I'll be coming down here and harvesting my pepper plants, or my peppers. I'm going to pull this last little bit of cabbage out. I've just kind of left it in until I can make room in the fridge, and I have room in the fridge. So we're going to go ahead and pull those. The cucumbers are starting to look a little sickly. They're still flowering, but it's just, we're at the end of season. Also, I do have cucumber beetles, and they could be doing some significant damage. I do have my butternut squash that is producing, but the plant looks a little worn. So we're hoping that it will do well. The one on the left seems to be struggling, and the one on the right is slow going, but seems to be healthier. The cantaloupe is doing really good. We've got a few down here. I need to get something up under this to keep the slugs off of it. We've got 3. Oh, looks like a bunny got to this one. The bunnies have been in here munching at anything that's ground level. They have not gotten any of my honeydew though. I've probably got a good 6 honeydew on here. And I will actually be out here today supporting some of these. Because they definitely have got some weight on them. But have plenty of honeydew. It looks like we'll have a late harvest of green beans. In earlier videos, I believe I had shown you that the deer had completely eaten all the buds, all the leaves and stuff. And they have rebounded, which is great, but we're going to have a late harvest where a lot of people are harvesting. So a lot of people are harvesting their green beans right now, and I have none on the plants. So we're starting to get some flowers in. So I'm hoping to have a late harvest of green beans. Corn is a no-go for the year. The deer, of course, in an earlier video I had shown you the deer had come through and eaten the tops off of all the corn. So while it has kind of rebounded and you're seeing the tassels and stuff on top of this, this is way too small, too short. We're not going to get a harvest out of this. Joe is super disappointed, but we will make better plans for next year. And part of gardening is expecting the disappointments, but it shouldn't stop you from planting. It shouldn't stop you from gardening or pursuing a garden. Yes, some things are going to die. Some things are not going to turn out right. Things are going to get eaten. And it's going to happen. So know that there is another season. You can always do a second session of growing or succession growing. So if you've planted it once and it didn't do well, if you have time in your growing season, plant it again. You can plant things in different locations with the hopes of one plant getting eaten, the other one may not. And then there's always the next year. So this year, corn didn't do this great. The previous year, corn didn't do that great. Next year, I'm hoping for a better corn turnout. So we'll keep at it until we get it right. I'm going to go ahead and harvest some okra and pull out this cabbage. And we're also going to be harvesting some herbs today. So I'm going to run over to the front of the yard and get my lemon balm and my mints and some basil and sage, and we're going to take all that stuff in and find a place to hang it up. Okra is a really good hider. So, and it grows extremely fast. I seem to get out here sometimes and look, and I'm like, I'll give it another day. I'm like, I'm out here, I'll give it another day, and the next thing you know, they're huge. But okra is one of those great summer crops that produce. You can freeze these so that you know, you have something you can pull out during the winter months. Looks like most of these are too small to clip right now. But you can freeze okra, and you can even bread it and freeze it. I've got quite a few peppers that have been hiding down here. And you can pick your peppers whenever you would like. I've even got squash bugs down here on my peppers. These are actually a red pepper, but you can pick them. But you can pick them whenever you want. I've pulled off some really good sized peppers, and some of them have been smaller, but they have all been just wonderful. This plant's kind of being covered up by my zucchini, but I don't want to overload my pepper plants because I want them to keep producing. I've got lots of little ones on here too. That's good. It has been so great to be able to come out here and get peppers off my plants for dinner. That way I feel like when I want to make something like tacos or just have some peppers in a salad, I can just run outside and grab some. I really enjoyed that this year versus running to the store to get peppers. These are still relatively small. Ooh, look at that beauty. These are my big boy peppers. And they, I mean, have lived up to their name. I've really liked these this year. Okay, so it's a little hot out here today and my camera is not a fan of the heat. But I'm down here by my cherry tomatoes, which we are just in abundance of. I have been actually drying these in my dehydrator and making dried tomatoes, and then I am going to store them in extra virgin olive oil. So Hannah is out getting eggs while I am tying up some plants and harvesting tomatoes, but I may have to finish this off this evening when it cools down some if my camera's not going to stay on. I'm definitely going to do these tomato plants again next year. I love the size and the flavor. I have no idea what variety this is. It just said cherry tomato on the plant. And I picked them up from a local nursery. They have great plants. They're always really healthy and very affordable. So I am tying up some plants, and then whatever tomatoes I find that are not in good shape, I just toss them over to the chickens. So like here I've got some branches that they're just weighed down, they're top heavy. Miss Hannah is gonna help me out. So there's the picture frame, and you're just kind of watching what Mama's doing, okay, as I'm talking. And I'm gonna try to get as many of these cherry tomatoes off as I can so my plants can stand back up. And I'm gonna tie some up. So I use anything from zip ties to string. It just depends on what I have, what's available, what works the best. In some cases, string's gonna work better because my plants are pretty big a little overcrowded. We still want them to get some decent airflow, and sometimes that requires some creative tying. I wish I could say that I was a gardener that came out here and pruned my tomato plants on a regular basis, but I'm not. So this Hannah's getting hot, so we're going to grab what we can, and then we'll come out this evening and finish getting what we can. All right, baby. Let's go ahead and, oh, here's a good red one. Picture this one. Do you see it? Look at that one. Let's take that one in. All right. Oh, I'll get him. He's gone. A bunny got another one of our cantaloupe. Hey, you stepped on my skitty squash.
I did not.
All right, come on. You can do a. You can take them in and show them the chickens. If they can't hear you, I am the one that has the microphone. So. Whew. Our baby chickens have gotten a lot bigger. Hannah takes very good care of her chickens. She's out here every day. And as these chickens are getting older, they're getting new names. We're starting to name some. Here's some of our baby ones that are not so baby anymore. We got a bunch of these. These are Plymouth Barred Rock. Those are the ones that are the black and white stripes. Got them for $1 a piece at local store, so we picked up quite a few. So we got our first green egg. We're up to 15 eggs a day right now. And we got our first green egg. We only have one Easter egger, which is currently, she's in here currently laying. Let's not bother her, please. She's busy. Come on, Miss Hannah.
She's so cute.
Looks like they're... You must be the one that keeps pulling down the... So, this is my mischief chicken. I don't know if you can see her. What did we name her?
I think that's Potato.
Potato?
Yeah.
Potato, wow. So she is looking at, we have a thermostat up here hanging on the wall. You probably cannot see it, but we have a thermostat that's up here that tells us what temperature it is in the coop. And the chickens have jumped up there a few times and pulled it down, which it unplugs everything in here and it messes stuff up. Come on, honey. Let's let them...
Let's keep the door open because...
We'll bring them out some treats in a little bit. We hear you. So welcome back and good morning. It is the next day. Yesterday just got too hot to finish off the garden, so I am out here early in the morning. You can see all the dew sitting on top of the plants. And we are going to go ahead and harvest some herbs today. So it is early enough that the fog has not dissipated yet this morning, but it does feel quite nice outside. These are some of my favorite mornings because everything is very quiet and still. I am going to come through here and harvest some of this mint. And really, you should be harvesting your mint all through the season so it gets nice, big, and bushy. This is the most successful I have been at growing mint. And while I have some other mint that has planted around, this has been my best harvest yet. This has also been the best smelling mint that I have had. So I use mint mainly for teas. You can also use it, but most of the time I use the extract to make salves, lip balm, and things like that. But mostly this is for tea. Mint grown from your garden, oh my goodness, it's a game changer. It tastes way better than the mint tea you get from the store. It's not the same. The flavor is so much more enhanced. And you want that cup of mint tea. And when you run out of mint tea, especially, we ran out just past December. No, I think it was like January, February, because everybody was sick. I ran out of tea because I had used so much of it while we were sick. I was so disappointed that I knew I was going to have to plant extra mint. So what's great about mint is it's kind of like that plant that you plant it and forget it. It grows by root and seed. It will take over your garden. So I suggest you plant it in a container. Get a good size container. Unless you want it to go wild. This is something that you can put in the ground and mow over it if you want. Oh, I love that smell. And it will come back and it'll smell amazing. The more you harvest it, the more it will continue to grow and spread. So feel free to take as much as you want. Just remember to leave a third of the plant. It has to have enough leaves on the plant so it can continue to grow. This is a pineapple mint. This is something that Joe picked up. Doesn't have a very strong smell, but it does have has a fruity smell to it. The one we had in Florida died. The sun was just too much for it. And it did much better in partial shade. And these plants get about 7 hours of sun, and then they get afternoon shade. That is why I specifically put this garden here and why my flowers are on this side of the house. That way everything would be just that much more successful during the summer months. Let me get over on the other side here. I'm so happy that we're getting the pineapple mint this year because we didn't have it last year. All right. We're also going to harvest some lemon balm. Excuse me, Mr. Spider. I am absolutely terrified of spiders, but with gardening, we have gained a mutual respect for each other. You stay out of my way, I'll stay out of your way. Lemon balm. Oh, one, it smells amazing, tastes amazing in teas. You can also use it to cook. Put it in anything that you're adding lemon to. It's also a great herb if you have something like cold sores. It is a plant that helps fight off and work against the herpes virus. So a lot of the mint family always has something that it attacks and kills. So mints tend to attack and kill things like warts and viruses and things. So as well as the bee balm, which is also part of the mint family, and catnip, and all of our little mint family friends. They all help and work towards something. Lemon balm specifically, though, is very good for stress, anxiety. If you are wanting something to just calm you, you can make a syrup out of this. You can make a tea, a tincture, and it just if you were to go outside and just grab you a leaf and crumble it up in your hands and smell it, 5 deep breaths and it will calm you. Oh, I love lemon balm. My girls love lemon balm. They love when they can come out and just grab a leaf and smell it. This is my first year harvesting sage. So, woo, I'm going to go ahead and nip the tops of these down to the next level of leaves. And then if I need to grab some more, I'll come out and grab some more. I did purchase a dehydrator, but I am going to air dry these because these are herbs. I don't want to cook them in high heat or low heat. I am going to string them all up around the house. The house is going to smell great. Oh, squash bug eggs on my... That's interesting. I'm going to string these up around the house and have them for seasonings this winter. I'll probably come out and do a little bit more of that. The chives, I come out and get them when I'm using them. I'll just whack off a bunch of them. They'll also keep in the fridge. And then our basil. And we're also going to grab some rosemary. Let me grab the rosemary since I'm over here. Remember, anything that you are harvesting, please make sure you wash it. Give it a good rinse. Now, we had a good rain yesterday and the day before, but I can see my spider friends have been out here doing their jobs, which I greatly appreciate because they help keep my bugs away, but I don't really want to eat any of them. I want to grab this big one, and it is covered in spider webs. So we got our rosemary. Let's grab some basil. Now, you don't have to use scissors. You can actually come and break these off, pinch them off. But I grabbed some really sharp scissors this morning because I knew I would be out here grabbing a lot. Now we are getting into the really hot part of summer. We're heading into August. And a lot of these are going to now bolt and go to seed. So I wanted to grab them while I still could. My basket's full. Basket herbs. I've got some more basil to get in the other garden and my thyme. So just so you know, all of this stuff, most of this will come back. The basil I have to replant each year, and the chives I would have to replant. But the rosemary, thyme, the mint, lemon balm, and the sage should all come back, as long as it's established. So I love herbs that you can plant once and harvest forever. I also want to grab a little bit of my thyme. I have a lemon thyme and an English thyme. The English thyme has started to go to seed. Oh, I got these backward. English, lemon. The lemon is starting to go to seed. It's starting to flower. But I'm going to grab just a little bit from the side and dry it. I still have some from last year. So I'm just going to grab some of these side ones. I don't use thyme a whole bunch, but I would like to start using it more. I definitely use it when making broth. And it is something you can use for tea. Thyme is wonderful for tea, and I know you wouldn't really think of that, but thyme and fennel, great for tea, especially if you're sick. All right, we got a little bit of everything. It's like a big salad. So friends, thank you so much for joining me in my garden today. I really enjoyed having this time with you, but I am going to head inside and get these all bundled and hung up all over the house so that they can dry. Generally takes about 2 to 3 weeks, but you want them good and crunchy before we can put them away for storage. So guys, thank you for joining me on my journey today, and I bless you on yours.